Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about examining the relationship between staff friendliness and guest satisfaction in the hospitality industry, and it's going to be presented by me, Abdullah Tosif, and Maisa Janspeak. This is a table of contents.
So let's start with the introduction. Overall, the hospitality industry encompasses a large range of businesses, including hotels, motels, resorts, and other establishments that provide service and food. And this industry is highly competitive, and so delivering exceptional customer service is very crucial to success. The satisfaction and the loyalty of guests play a significant role in the long-term viability of the certain hospitality business. Staff friendliness, on the other hand, is a crucial aspect of the customer service in hospitality because when guests meet warm, welcoming, and helpful staff members, it creates a positive and memorable experience. Friendliness goes beyond mere politeness. It involves also genuine engagement, empathy, and different positive emotions toward the guests. And the studies that have been on the internet identified several dimensions of service quality, for example, including reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and etc. While these dimensions encompass various aspects of the service encountered, the role of staff friendliness is a driving guest satisfaction, warrants closer to examination. Understanding the relationship between staff friendliness and the guest satisfaction is critical for hospitality organizations. For example, by fostering a culture or friendliness of providing appropriate training and support to their staff. And organizations can enhance the overall service experience, and in the end, increase the quality of service and the loyalty of guests. And let's talk about the definition overall of staff friendliness. It's not only staff friendliness is not simple words because it includes many psychological aspects. For example, hospitality staff friendliness refers to behavior, demeanor, and attitude displayed within the hospitality industry when interacting with guests. It includes warmth, politeness, helpfulness, and the overall positive approach demonstrated by staff members. And hospitality staff friendliness involves more than just being polite. For example, it extends to creating a welcoming and hospitable environment where guests feel valuable and appreciated. Friendly staff members go beyond meeting basic service requirements and actively engage with guests. They anticipating their needs and providing personalized attention is very the major part of their job. Hospitality staff friendliness can be observed in various interactions. For example, greetings, handing inquiries, assisting with their requests, and resolving issues, and etc. It all shows their attitude toward guests, and the friendliness is really showed in this situation, and the handling the situations can really increase the overall satisfaction of the guests in the hotel.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about the main objectives of the staff for the guest experience. So first of all, it's being friendly and communicable. So this objective is about being just generally welcoming to the guests and being able to communicate with them on the different levels and still being able to deliver the good amount of duties and services that the staff needs to give to the guests and the general work that they have to do during their shift. And second of all, we're going to talk about not causing any discomfort while doing their duties. For example, housekeeping departments, they often do the cleanings inside the rooms, and during that cleaning, they use different gadgets and different noises can come from inside the room. And this should not affect other rooms nearby to the extent that the guest needs to go down to the reception or call the call center to say that the housekeeping or the department is being too noisy and it should not become such a big problem for the guests staying. And third, it's about the understanding and giving each guest the right amount of attention. For example, when the multiple guests are walking in and walking out, checking out and checking in inside the hotel, there are different approaches to each of them, and they should respect the values and the people that they are as guests, can feel the amount of attention that they are getting and the amount of attention that the other guest is getting, and they can understand that some of the attention is going too much to the one guest, and during that time the guests might feel themselves as unwanted or unneeded in that situation, or they might just feel unwelcomed by the hotel in general. And this should not occur during the work of the reception and generally the front desk in department in general. And the third of all, being helpful to the guests is about the helping the guest while he has some confusions about the directions, or when he has some kind of the problem and he wants the staff to help him out. For the guests, there is no difference between the housekeeping department or the front desk or the reception or the security guard. Everyone for the guests is the same hotel employee, and because of that, the guests expect every employee to be able to help them out with the directions and to be able to help them out with their little problem, or if it's a really big problem, to help them find the person that can solve it at least. And because of that, the housekeeping departments, every department in general, they should be able to help the guests themselves as an individual. And because of that, the guest satisfaction might rise in the hotel, because each guest knows that any kinds of employee can help them out during their critical situation. And the fifth is knowing the information on different subjects of the hotel is about the general knowledge of the employees inside the hotel about their surroundings, and also about the departments and the outlets, as well as the things that their hotel provides for the guests during their stay, and even some of the services that they might get if they want. This information might be crucial when the guest needs some kinds of help or service desperately, and in that situation he will ask any employee again to help them out, and the employees should know about the at least basic information on that subject. For example, about the transfers, about the emergency exits, or any kinds of services, for example, spa or fitness gyms and their working hours. So this is it for the main objectives of the staff. And now we're going to move on about factors influencing the satisfaction of the staff themselves. As the staff, also people, they get tired, they get worked out, and because of that, there should be some really good benefits to their working and some rewards to their hard work. And for example, first of all, we're going to talk about the morals and the morals of the company and the hotel in general. It's about their mission, values, and the employees' position inside that company. The company should have the good mission in order for the employees to set themselves with that distinguished mission. For example, about helping other people, helping the poor, helping the environment to recover, and such missions are considered noble and good enough to work for that mission and give the more hard work to the work that they love and that the mission that they respect. And the values of the company is very important also, because it's also can and needs to be aligned with the wants and values of the employees. And next is about the employee's position, and the employee's position inside the company is about how the company treats their employees in general. For example, the employees that know that they are not really special for the company, they might feel that they can just leave at any moment, and other employees they will just hire another people, and it will just fill the hole of that employee. However, each company always needs to strive to make each employee feel like they are unique, and that they give the company something of their own, like they are one something special for the company, and they really should feel comfortable with the fact that they are valued and very respected in that company. The second is about the environment. Now, the environment of external environment of the company can be physical, generally, like physically appealing, or it can be physically not appealing, not beautiful. And at that moment, some employees they might not feel like they want to work in that hotel or in that company at all. And because of that, the location of the hotels and location where the employees work is also important. And the internal factors can be such as just the convenience of the employees inside the hotel, or the convenience of their being inside the hotel. Like for example, the no comfort options for the employees inside their departments may cause them to really feel bad about working in that company, as it may seem like the company does not value them at all. And because of that, it is very important to also give right amount of attention to the company's internal facilities as well. And the next is about culture. It's about local culture and culture inside the team. The local culture, for example, in some another country, there's multiple employees that are working abroad, and their culture as well as the local culture, they might differ very much. And because of that, the culture of that local culture should be really not be pushing to the employees' face, and it should be respected, and it should be aligning with their culture as well. And that it should be respected that they're from different culture and gives them time to adapt. And the next is about the culture inside the team. Culture inside the team is also an important part of the teamwork, as the team also should work very good with each other. They need to respect each other's rights. They need to respect each other's cultural differences. They can have different political views, but they still need to work as a team. And because of that, cultural team might be one thing that that really can help the people to work with each other. And this is the part of the culture. And the next is about the comfort. The comfort includes such things as salary, schedule, bonuses, and workplace. The salary, it should be enough for the employee to cover their expenses for their families and for their different personal needs. And the schedule, about the schedule, it should be right amount of work and right amount of relaxation time for the employees to recover and work. For example, not many employees will agree to work from 3 o'clock till the next midnight. So the graphics of the schedule should be really sane and culturally admirable. The next is about the bonuses. The bonuses of the company should be rewarding and should be great enough to work for them. And for example, there can be multiple challenges that employees might take in order to get some kinds of bonuses. For example, spa treatment or some kind of touristic maybe tour, and it can also be provided by the company. And because of that, the employee satisfaction might rise. And the workplace is very important, as you know. The most of the time that people work, they spend it there as usual workplace, and that workplace should be really pleasant to look at. There should be really comfortable to use, and it should be functional enough for them to feel like they can work there and they can make their work in as best as they can. Yeah. And the next one is about ambitions and challenges and opportunities for growth. So the ambitions for each employee should be that they can learn and continuously grow inside the company, that they are not stuck in the same place for like decades. They should feel that they can grow and they can have the challenges that gives them some new skills, or that gives them some new kinds of opportunities to understand their work better, or to generally improve their vision on the company and the vision of their work and field. So this is about the factors influencing staff satisfaction.
So next we move to the literature review. We added this part because we wanted to find like some secondary data from the internet to connect to our topic. And we found several, and the first one is from Botko GA and Fadeva NO. Their work called staff culture in the hospitality industry, and their work was about all the rules, all the like how staff should behave in the industry, and they described the major problem of the CIS countries, that many of the like local employees are not like on the standard level of the, for example, other hotels abroad, and the difference between the behavior and how they serve to customers like very shown phenomenon. And the next points are pointed out because they were very interesting. And the first one is culture of behavior of hotel staff. So each hotel and like overall each business have their own culture, and how it was like based, how the management works, it all reflects on the employees. So first of all, this hour showed and like explained how the management starts overall the culture and the next behavior and the friendliness of the staff. So next part is these are like, for example, gestures and voice, speech, respect for one's culture and appearance. All of them are like very valid points for the basing the friendliness of the staff. For example, gestures. These simple, like for example, how you look at, how you greet the guests is very like the shows and makes the first like the impression of the guest of their hotel and the overall the staff. So where there should be in hotels, there should be some training, certain trainings, and some like lessons that teach the staff the psychological aspects of the like service providing service. The next is like voice speech. It also includes to the gestures and overall the psychological aspect of the like providing service, because your voice, how like however you say talk, for example, your like low voice or high pitched voice, you should control it to make decent conversation and to not like make yourself like, sound rude or something. And the next is respect for one's culture. Of course, like hotel is like home for for people from all over the world, and meeting someone from other culture and finding it's like weird or funny or something, it's very like disrespectful. And you as a like hotel employee who like directly talks and interacts with the guests, you should like have like a lot of respect for them, and make them like guests feel like comfortable in another country. And the next is appearance, like simple appearance of how you wear uniform, how you do your makeup or something, and it all also shows the level and the overall impression of the hotel employees. The next is empathy towards the guests. Of course, you who interacts directly with the guests and the guests, you are the first people, so the first people who guests should consult with, or asks to solve some problems. And the empathy towards the guest is very crucial, because if you're not emphatic enough, you can't understand their problems, or can't resolve their problems. The next is code of the discipline. Each hotel have certain code of conduct, or certain code of how their guests should behave, and following it is very crucial, because it's the base. And keep the cool when the guest is in the wrong. Of course, a lot of situations when the guests act very rude towards the guests, towards the staff, and they're certainly wrong. But in this situation, you can get mad at them or something. You should keep your friendliness and make this situation benefit to you, and resolve their problems as soon as possible, because otherwise it will leave some bad impression, and overall the guests can not come back to your hotel.
Okay, so this is about the case study about the Radan Hotel in Pralom Banja. It's in Serbia. There was a case study made about the employees' satisfaction and their understanding on how the employee satisfaction plays a huge role on the general guest satisfaction and the satisfaction on job in general. And because of the studies, the way the study was made, it's focused mainly about the employee satisfaction characteristics. And so they found out that the employees generally give their hotel, in Radan Hotel, the mark of 4 out of 5. Most of them give the mark of 4. And it affects the way the employees work in their workplaces, relationships, managements, and satisfactions. So the workplace of the employees, they found out, has a huge importance when the employees feel that they need to work, and how they do their work is also influenced by the workplace. And the next findings in this case study was about the relationships of the management and the employees. So they found out that the employees and the management, they need to have a good relationship in order for all of them to feel better about the job in general. And because of the good management at the Radan Hotel, they could achieve such nice marks of 4 out of 5 in the survey on the satisfaction of the employees on their job. And the next one is about the management. The management should make a good policies for their employees. They should make regular trainings on the actual information that is updated in the world by the new standards. And because of that, the employees might feel that they are constantly studying and learning something new, and they have some opportunities to really implement them in their work. And it also plays a huge role in their satisfaction of job, because they can always find a new way to do their everyday job a bit more interesting, a bit more unique. And the next one is about the satisfaction in general. The satisfaction of employees, as the survey found out, is also a satisfaction about their general job satisfaction as well. So it's about the correlation of 1 to 1 for their satisfaction of the employees is also satisfaction of their job in general. And they found out that they really can get such findings from the studies of the survey. And the next case study is about Eriado Island resorts and spa in the Maldives. And this case study in controversy studied about the correlation of the employees with the customers and their engagement emotional and physically. It's about the case study that advocates that the hotel management team that is specifically designed to engage maximally to the maximum with the guests is making huge steps toward increasing the guest satisfaction in general by the guests from the outside and inside the hotel. And in order to create such a big progress, they found out multiple steps that any hotel can make in order to increase their guest experience positivity. And so some of them is, as you can see, the engaged team. It's about creating the engaged team that really has to put all of their effort in order to satisfy the guests. For example, when the guests are coming to the hotels, they expect the dishes or any kinds of cutlery to be perfectly clean. And it is very usual for them to see that the cutlery and the dish in general is very clean. And in order to make the guest impressed, they can make the way the dish, arrange the dish in that way that the guest can be impressed, for example, in some kind of form, or so that the dish can create some kind of words, maybe, that the guests can read and can get some experience. And the next is about the evaluation. It's about the evaluation of strengths and weaknesses of the team that we created before, so that the team, they can know what they're lacking and what they're good at, and so that they can improve their weaknesses and to furthermore strengthen their strengths. And so this is the way that the evaluation works, that the team can always learn and grow more than just stay the same as they was. And it also helps the trainees to become better at their job. So the next is about the management, and the management's role in all of this is to ensure that the team can get enough time and satisfaction from their job also, so that the guests can feel that the people that are around them, they really love their job and that they do it out of sincerity and not because it's their duty or any kind of forced action on them that they cannot deny or cannot rebel against. So this is what the case study found out.
So the next is employ the suggestions for the management and the hoteliers to make their staff more friendly or engage more in friendly activity. The first point is employee motivation and engagement. First of all, foster a positive work environment. The management should create a work environment that promotes positivity, respect, and the teamwork. And they also should encourage open communication and provide support to employees. When employees feel valued and appreciated, they are more likely to be motivated and more friendly towards the guests and feel themselves better at all. And the next is set clear expectations. Clearly when management clearly communicates to their expectation to the staff regarding guest interactions and the importance of the friendliness, and providing specific guidelines and examples of how employees can showcase their friendliness, it makes the like their work easier, and you can be an example, and the impact of their of these lessons will be showed in their interaction with the guests. It's very crucial. And as I said before, training and development, providing regular training sessions, they enhance the employees' customer service skills, and they teach them effective techniques to show their friendliness. The next is empower employees. Management should give employees the autonomy to make decisions and resolve the guest issues within their with on themselves, and the empowered employees feel a sense of ownership, and they are more motivated to provide exceptional service. So the next point is regular feedback and communication. By scheduling regular feedback sessions to provide constructive opinions or feedback and praise for the employee's performance, it's very important, not for the behavior of the friendliness of the staff, just motivating them and talking back to them and pointing out some their wrongs or rights, and it helps a lot to formulate their certain behavior that helps to increase their friendliness. And management should listen to their concerns of the employees and offer guidance and create an open dialogue. Regular communication, for example, ensures that employees feel heard and valued, and enhance their motivation and engagement in their work. And the last point, employee survey and suggestions. Management should conduct regular surveys or suggestion boxes to gather the feedback from employees regarding the guest interaction or work environment, for example, and to find out their overall job satisfaction. And they also should act on their suggestion and involve them in decision-making process, and whenever possible. This empowers employees to make their feel themselves better in their work. Next is suggestion regarding the organizational culture. The first point is lead by example. As a manager or supervisor, they should demonstrate the behavior except from their employees, interacting with the guests in a friendly and for positive manner, and being approachable and available to address any concerns. It all starts with the management and how they showcase the right behavior and actions. The staff also will copy it and also will act the exact same, and the management actions will set the tone for the team and inspire them to follow the rules. And the next is team building activities. Organizing team building activities to foster a sense of camaraderie among the employees. It's very crucial to fill themselves up or feel themselves better in their relationship with their other employees in their job. And these activities can be both work related and social, as team lunches or outgoings or any other volunteering opportunities. Strengthening bonds with the team will improve the collaboration and create a positive work atmosphere, and also it impacts on their friendliness and the job satisfaction. And the career growth opportunities, providing opportunities for the career advancement and the growth within the organization. It offers training, for example, mentorship or any other chance to take additional responsibilities. When employees see a clear path for their growth, they are more motivated to excel in their current roles. And as you see, it all their suggestions are regarding the management, because as I said before, they are trendsetters, and how they behave and how they set the rules, the employees will also reflect on themselves.
So this is about the conflict resolution technique called Learn. So first of all, in order to resolve the conflict, the person which is addressed in that conflict should listen first about the guest's problem. She should really show that they are engaged in listening activity, and they are showing that with their body language, with their attention to the words that the guest is speaking, and they should take notes that the guest is what points the guest is making and which is the problem that has occurred. And the next is about emphasis. Emphasis is about the emotional engagement and the reaction of the employee towards the uh, problem that the guest has. And the employee really should just put themselves in the shoes of the guests and try to understand the emotional state of the guest at that moment and the importance of the conflict for the guests. And the next is about apologizing and apologizing sincerely and understanding the position that the guest has found himself or herself in is really important. And the apology should be sincere and it should not be faked by some like laughter or pitiful emotions that the employee just might unintentionally have. And really apologizing helps when the guest is really angry and is upset about the general situation. And the next is about responding. Responding is about the responsibility and solving the problem for the guest. For example, if the problem starts with one guest, it should really be ended with the same employee that the guest has asked help from. And so that employee should go to other departments or some supervisors in order to ask for help for himself, but not for the guests, because multiple people come into the guests and asking the same question again and again can get annoying, and because of that the guest might get even more angry or even more upset, and it will definitely become a problem for the achieving the guest satisfaction for the higher levels. And the next one is about the notify part. It's about the notifying to management about the problem that has occurred and how you solved it, or how the problem has solved itself maybe. And you need to say how you need to tell the customer, the guests, about how you solved the problem or how it's being solved. And after that, you are going to report to management about how the issue was solved in general and report it to the more higher supervisors. So the next one is about limitations. And so the first one is the limitations of the study is about the fact that the friendliness of the staff is an emotional and mental object, and it can't be measured in numbers because we can't just measure how many employees are friendly today or how many employees are friendly in general in the hotel. And because of that, this study, of course, more is derived from the case studies and statistics that show that the general techniques are of emotional and engagement with the customers is how they're working out and how they show on the guest satisfaction, like reviews of the guests on the hotel and the reviews of the guests in general on the work of the employees. And the next one is about the lack of study on Kazakhstan. There is significantly less studies on local hotels and their statistics, and because of that, there is much harder ways to find information on the friendliness of the hotel workers inside the Kazakhstan hotels. And because of that, the case studies and many informations are taken from the international sources and from sources from abroad. And it mostly shows the practices of other countries and their hotels. And the next one is about the lack of resources and the inability to conduct a more deeper and precise research because of the fact that the conduction of more precise and deeper work will need more engagement from the hotel workers and also more bigger group and sample of the people that can be taken as test subjects for the determining the friendliness of the employees and how it does affect the general sample of that we have taken. And the next one is about the individuality of each scenario. For example, in each instance of the friendliness of the hotel employees, it's always different. For example, for some person, the employee helped to open the door. For other, it generally just became like he just smiled and the guest was just satisfied because of that. And that can also influence the statistics that even though not have been collected, but if they would be collected, it still would affect the way that the friendliness is measured. So because of that, one of the factors that limits the study is the differentiation of the factors of friendliness and how some people understand the concept of friendliness. For some, it might be just a little help, and for others, it might be like bigger gesture of like being always attentive to their words or being more physically or emotionally engaged with the customer. So this is about the limitations of the study. So in conclusion, it is important to say that the friendliness of people is always something that the people have wanted and that people love. And it has started from the early human nature and the risings of humanity, and it still continues to this day. And in general, any guests or any traveler that has come to some new place will always be looking for friendly and good environment for them, and it will be always highly valued to be welcomed somewhere, although you have come there for the first time. And the guests of the hotels are no different from the travelers, and they really expect a personal experience and approach for them, as they sometimes come for the hotel for the first time and they expect some basic functions, but if they get the friendly environment and more magical moments in their stay, like when they didn't know that the present is expecting in their room and expected them in their room, and the next thing they find it and they become very happy, and it becomes one of the core memories that they have for the lifetime. And because of that, the friendliness and in general engagement with the customer is very important in the hospitality industry, as it makes long-lasting relationships and it makes the guests really tight and really bound to some place or hotel because of the fact that they have memories with it. And it both the employees and the customers, they both get positive emotions and they get the best of the mental and physical things from such activities, and it really shows, and also it affects the guest satisfaction. So it's overall win for all of the parties when the employees and the hotel in general is engaged with the customers that they serve. And because of that, general hospitality and warmness of the hotel is very important in any of the hospitality companies. So thank you for your attention. This was our presentation today. And this is some of the references that we have.